Maria wandered through the park, her eyes scanning the crowds with increasing desperation. The autumn wind tugged at her coat, but she didn't notice the cold biting her skin. Her breath came in shallow gasps as she called out again, her voice trembling. "Eli? Eli, where are you?" The laughter of other children filled the air, mixing with the rustle of fallen leaves, but there was no sound of her son's voice among them. He had been right next to her just moments ago, his tiny hand gripping hers as they admired the ducks on the lake. She had turned for just a second to check her phone. A second too long. Her heart pounded as she moved from one group of families to another, asking, pleading with strangers, but no one had seen a small boy in a red sweater with bright blue sneakers. Tears blurred her vision, but Maria couldn't stop searching. She couldn't stop. She retraced her steps, circling the park again and again, the same paths, the same benches, the same faces passing her by, none of them offering the comfort she needed. She felt the world closing in on her, the once familiar landscape now a maze of fear and uncertainty. A memory surfaced. Eli laughing as they played hide-and-seek in the living room, his giggles loud and joyful as he tried to stay hidden under the curtains. "Found you," she had always said, scooping him up in her arms, his laughter like music in her ears. But now there was only silence. As the sun began to set, painting the sky with streaks of pink and orange, Maria felt her strength draining away. Her legs ached, her throat was raw from shouting, and her mind was a whirlwind of what-ifs. What if he had wandered too far? What if someone had taken him? The thoughts were unbearable. She dropped onto a bench, her head in her hands, and for the first time let the sobs come. The park was emptying out now, the chatter of families fading into the distance, leaving only the faint whisper of the wind. Suddenly, a soft voice broke through her despair. "Mommy." She lifted her head, eyes wide, and there he was. Eli standing just a few feet away, his face smeared with dirt, his red sweater crumpled but unmistakable. He looked at her with those wide, innocent eyes, holding a stick in his hand like it was a prized treasure. Maria ran to him, wrapping him in her arms so tightly she thought she might never let go. Tears of relief streamed down her face as she kissed his forehead again and again. "Where were you?" she whispered, her voice shaking. "I was playing," Eli said, as if it was the most natural thing in the world. "I found a secret place." Maria held him close, her heart still racing, but the panic slowly melting away. She didn't care where he had been or how he had gotten lost. All that mattered was that he was here, safe, in her arms. As they walked home, Maria kept her hand firmly around Eli's, never wanting to let go. The world seemed brighter, fuller, with him by her side again. The silence was gone, replaced by the sweetest sound she had ever known, the voice of her child